We have a vision to create 10,000 jobs within the next couple of years in South Africa. In my view, there is a very strong need to develop tailored, customized training and competency development programs that people who are on the ground can afford. Digital transformation is not just an IT-related project. It has facets and aspects from different perspectives.
This episode of ITWeb TV is brought to you in association with ITWeb Security Summit, the must-attend gathering for IT security and business decision makers. Visit itweb.co.za for more. Good day. Welcome to ITWeb TV. Today we are joined by Alok Goswami, the newly appointed CIO of Mpilo Technologies. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good, thanks. Just to kickstart, congratulations on our appointment. And as a point of departure, can you tell us a bit more about your company? For those that don't know much about what does Mpilo Technologies do, can you just share with us?
Sure, thank you. So thanks for having me here, first of all, and thanks for inviting me. So Mpilo Technology is one of the most upcoming leading software solutions provider in the digital solutions space. And we are playing a big role from a digital solutions perspective in banking domain. And we are also very aggressively expanding into other domains which are non-banking related. And are one of the foundations that we have beneath this is a best practice-based approach where we integrate practices from various best practice frameworks to develop a very robust methodology while implementing projects and developing software solutions for various clients in South Africa and in other countries as well.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you joined the company, I think you are coming in at a time when there's a lot of activity within the tech space in the country and globally. What are some of your plans that you have to position the company on the market to differentiate yourself from your competition or your peers?
So we have quite an aggressive approach to implement cutting-edge emerging technologies and bring technologies which are not existing in South Africa, both from a banking as well as non-banking technology perspective. So, for example, we have been a first in the country to bring Kony, the erstwhile Kony, and now it's called Quantum. We were one of the pioneers to bring that in South Africa. We are also doing that with some other technologies, which kind of differentiates us from the competitors. But not just that. We are an extremely socially conscious company. And what sets us aside is a really genuine, honest, sincere attempt to bring a social change in the South African context or the South African landscape. We have a vision to create 10,000 jobs within the next couple of years in South Africa, and we are already executing that strategy. And you will see that a lot of our employees, a number of our employees and staff that we have in the company have been doing very mundane, normal jobs in their daily life. You will see there's a person who is now a UX developer, one of the best UX developer. He was a lift man in his previous job. And we recognize that potential and talent, and we have groomed such resources and have taken them to positions that they really deserve and are capable of. So Mpilo Technologies is a company which is truly making a difference in that space already, and is very sincere and genuine in continuing with it. So if you visit our offices, you will be able to meet many such employees who have come from very humble background. People who didn't even know how to operate or open a laptop. They are now doing coding or programming. They are now designers. They are working in big projects with big clients, which is a testament to the success of Mpilo Technologies' endeavor in bringing a difference to the South African social context. And also, we are a firm believer in best practice approaches. So if you talk about globally recognized best practice frameworks and approaches, we have them. We are using them and we are implementing them to bring excellence in our software delivery.
You spoke about job creation, which I think it's something that is of importance currently in the country and globally. And you mentioned you're looking to probably create about 10,000 opportunities, if I'm correct. How do you intend to do that?
So we are an emerging and a growing company, and we intend doing that through securing additional projects with our clients, expanding our base of existing clients, diversifying into new areas of technologies and service delivery and core competencies. All of that is, in fact, part of our strategy. And hopefully, as we expand, as we scale up, we would be then able to fulfill that growth with jobs that we would have offered to the South African community. And we also have a graduate program within the company where we are grooming some of the semi-skilled resources and, in fact, unskilled resources also in software development methodologies and competencies. So we'll keep doing it because we see that to create jobs and to sustain that job creation, we need to equip the resources with such skills and competencies that don't go away. That doesn't end with a project. That remains with them when the project ends. So it's a very sincere, honest attempt at doing that, and we are hoping that with a combination of all of these approaches, we'll be able to make a significant difference in the South African economy as well.
Just moving ahead, looking at the position you hold as a Chief Information Officer, and we look at the evolving tech ecosystem in the country, what are some of the challenges that CIOs face when it comes to enhancing digital transformation?
Right. So often there's lack of understanding of what digital transformation truly means. Digital transformation is not just an IT-related project. It has facets and aspects from different perspectives that the teams often don't consider. And they think that just by bringing in some automation and some tools and systems in place, they're going to bring a digital transformation in the company. So that's where things go wrong in my experience. The second thing is that having the right resources with the right level of skills is often a challenge. And it's very important that digital transformation, when it's done with a proper analysis of what knowledge, skills, and competencies are needed to bring that transformation that we are targeting through the digital transformation. So that's the second challenge that we face in digital transformation. Third is, there's a saying, if you don't know where you are, a map will not help. So what happens is you embark on this digital transformation programs with great excitement, great enthusiasm, but you have no mechanisms and no ways to track and monitor where you are at different points. So you have no yardsticks to look at what success means in digital transformation. There are no proper indicators that are put in place to determine whether we are on the right track or not. And often it is too late by the time these things are realized as having gone wrong. So digital transformation is a program, is a combination of projects that need to have a proper, accurate mechanism that will give us an indication of whether we are on the right path or not. And it requires a lot of brainstorming, thinking, analysis in the organizational context to do it. So these are some of the big challenges that the CIOs face when you talk about digital transformation.
Thank you very much. And continue, just as a follow-up question to that, do you think there is an appreciation now within companies since COVID-19 happened that CIOs need to be supported to make sure the company remains stable? And are you getting what needs to be done in terms of giving that support from companies?
Oh, yes, 100%. There is, I'm talking more from a Mpilo Technologies perspective. I mean, the kind of empowerment and support that I have in the company is something that I have rarely seen in any of my other jobs in companies. There is a true sense of purpose for the CIO role, and they are given all support, infrastructure, resources needed to make the change happen. And I have no doubts with this type of commitment and support, the role will be a successful one.
Okay, thank you very much. Just as we continue, I want to focus a bit on the issue of skills development. I know we've touched on that a bit from Mpilo point of view. Just looking at the local scene as a broader tech industry in South Africa, there's massive shortage of talent in certain areas, especially look at cybersecurity. They've mentioned that there's a lot of talent crunch in that space. What needs to be done to try and develop more skilled personnel within the tech sector, from your opinion?
So in my opinion, a number of steps need to be taken. Number one is introduction of more fit-for-purpose training and skills development programs that the wider community can take. Not these big 3-4 years, 2 years program that are often too prohibitive from a cost perspective or effort perspective. So in my view, there is a very strong need to develop tailored, customized training and competency development programs that people who are on the ground can afford in terms of cost, in terms of effort. And these programs should be designed in such a way that they are targeted for specific domains and sectors in the IT industry. So let's say you have a 2-month program on data management, as an example. It'll be the starting point of equipping these individuals who would like to grow in that space with those type of programs. And I'm not saying that you stop there. A number of advanced programs like that could be introduced. So once people get trained, they can actually go on that growth path iteratively or step by step as we go. So those training and competency development programs, which are customized, tailored versions of bigger programs, are needed, in my opinion. The second is, I think the collaboration between industry and academic institutions need to be strengthened and be better, where we need to work on opportunities for people who are graduating or people who are passing matriculation, and look at what type of structured programs could be introduced and how we can embrace taking the young graduates or the young matriculates into our environments and put up firm programs on that. The companies are already doing that. Lots of companies are doing that already, but I think there's a need to strengthen that specific academic institutions and the industry collaborations in that regard to make this more like a national program.
Okay.
I think those are the two key aspects which...
And what role do you think the government can play or the public sector can play to try and also support you guys in your efforts to grow skills?
Absolutely. So the government can play a big role from a funding perspective, from removing some bureaucratic hassles and bottlenecks. The government can also help in the exchange programs with different universities and different and other companies in other countries. So they can facilitate an exchange program, let's say South Africa and some other country, where our people can go and learn from there, and we can have some kind of exchange programs going there. The government can also look at introducing some incentives and bursaries and scholarships. So perhaps when we talk about that industry academic collaboration, we need to have a government angle as well.
So,
perhaps a three-party collaboration is needed.
Okay. No, thank you. Moving ahead, we can't conclude this conversation without looking at the impact of emerging technologies. From Mpilo Tech's view, how do you see emerging technologies impacting your business and your clients going forward? Yeah, I'm talking about AI and all this machine learning and other things. How do you see those things affecting or impacting your business going forward and your operations, if at all?
It's going to play a very big role in our operations and business. And I would say that, embracing these technologies and these methodologies and these techniques has to be part of the company's strategy. Because if we are not abreast with these technologies and these latest emerging techniques and methods, etc., we are going to fall behind and not be able to achieve our strategic objectives.
Yeah.
So all these technologies and frameworks and methods and techniques are going to play a big role in making our service delivery and project delivery more efficient, effective, more competent, and will provide the customers with a high level of value add when we deliver the solution. So it's going to play a very big role. And I believe it's not just us. In general, the overall South African ICT community is going to get hugely impacted by these technologies.
Moving on to the more interesting stuff now. What are your near-term plans when it comes to the role that you have assumed now? Just near-term plans that you think you need to do urgently to try and reposition the company on the market.
So we are working on improving lots of areas internally around how delivery happens, how planning of projects happen, or big programs, how they are planned, how they are executed. We are working on defining or strengthening our strategy itself with new offerings that are being developed. We are also implementing a best practice center of excellence, which is like a first in South Africa. That software engineering best practice center of excellence is going to provide some of the top-end niche consultancy that you can get in South Africa in various methods and frameworks and technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And many of these things are the immediate needs and focus that we are putting in place to help us take the next step going forward.
When do you foresee this Center of Excellence taking off?
It has,
how many people will you be recruiting or enrolling in the Center of Excellence?
It has already been created. We have implemented that. Currently, we are looking at having 12 resources in the Center of Excellence.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because we've just started, and we are looking at expanding it to at least 100 plus resources within the next 12 months of the implementation.
Mm-hmm. Alok, you are a veteran within the tech space. What's your overall view of the country's tech ecosystem and innovation? What needs to be done to enhance that? The country and reposition it as a country of innovation, which is technology-driven?
Yeah, that's a very good question and a heavy one.
Oh, let's just have a chat.
So, what needs to happen? There's no end to it. So, so innovation is not something that you can put as a target and say, let's innovate. There needs to be a mindset change that needs to start perhaps from schools to say, how do we inculcate this habit of being innovative? You can't be innovative if you are not allowed to make mistakes. And often our education system that we have doesn't permit making mistakes to an extent that we should. We always feel it needs to be perfect. You need to achieve all these great things, but behind all these great things, if you want to achieve a true sense of innovation, you need to permit, or you need to allow a culture of making mistakes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's where it starts. And what happens is, by the time the kids who are attending or who are part of this education system, they grow and they become they come into the mainstream community and they start doing jobs. Their mindset is no longer innovative because they are in the habit of, I can't make mistakes, I shouldn't be doing this, right? So that's where it should start, in my opinion. We should start that culture from the very beginning, from the very early stages of a child's growth. The other part of this innovation is companies, corporates, academic institutes, government, again should collaborate, and we should consciously make an effort to allow for capacity, to allow for funding, to allow for infrastructure that's needed for innovation. Because innovation doesn't just come with an idea coming into someone's head and stopping there. It's very important that innovative ideas are given the right environment for growth and nurturing. And that environment requires the right skills, the right environment, the right infrastructure, the right level of funding, the right level of encouragement and motivation, which cannot come if we are too busy always operationally doing the day-to-day things. So there needs to be a conscious effort to say, guys, we are going to allow for a dedicated capacity for innovation to thrive, and only then it can be successful. So these are some of the key things, I think, which are required to develop and sustain a culture of innovation in the country.
Okay. Well, thanks, Alok. And as we conclude, using your knowledge, what advice would you give to young people who wants to get into tech, and also to those that are aspiring to be CIOs? What would you tell them?
Just live your dream. Just don't be scared to think big. I am here because I was never scared of thinking big. And I made lots of mistakes. But I thought of becoming what I could become when others would just laugh about it. So I think it's very important that we have a conviction that yes, we can do and we can become what we would like to become. If that confidence is there, we will figure out a way to get there eventually. It all starts with that thinking. And there's a saying, you become what you think. Right? So and I'm not saying it's actually not a philosophical or a theoretical thing. It has happened with me where I have thought of becoming something which was almost impossible to dream, but I did that and I got there. So my advice is, don't be scared to think big. Don't be scared to dream. Even if you think you don't have the skills, the capacity, the funding, or whatever is preventing you at that point in achieving the dream, you will get there. And they say the universe will make it happen somehow. You just need to work towards it and you'll figure out your way.
Okay. Alok, thank you so much for visiting us and we appreciate your time. Hopefully this is not the last time that you'll be coming through. We'll engage with you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. And thanks for having me. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Can you please subscribe to our channel, ITWeb TV? This episode of ITWeb TV is brought to you in association with ITWeb Security Summit, the must-attend gathering for IT security and business decision makers. Visit itweb.co.za for more.